This 2024 election, man, it's wild doesn't even cut it, you know?
Yeah, it's like we've seen it all, but then it's like, hold on, it gets even crazier.
Exactly. And the thing is, this might be, and this is the kind of scary part more than just the usual crazy. We're really diving into this psychiatrist, Dr. Bandy Lee. She studies Trump.
Okay.
And she's been at it for years. And she's saying there's like this whole psychological thing going on, calls it Trump contagion.
Oh, wow. Trump contagion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what this whole deep dive is about.
Gotcha.
So for the listener who might not be familiar with her work, what is Trump contagion?
Well, and I'm simplifying here, but she's basically saying being exposed to Trump, especially when he was president, it's like it can actually spread like a sickness, his psychology.
Yeah.
To other people.
So it's not just disagreeing with him, it's like it gets into you.
Yeah, it's like imagine breathing bad air. Right?
Yeah.
It might not kill you today or tomorrow, but you stay there long enough, it messes you up. She says it's kind of like that with Trump. All the rhetoric, the way he acts, it wears down like our shared reality, you know? Makes it harder to think straight, to care about other people even. Like it does something to your brain, she says.
And there's this one example I keep thinking about. It was from this rally in Pennsylvania. Trump said, and I'm quoting here, "Women won't have to think about abortion anymore if he wins."
Oh, I remember that.
It was like he didn't even, I don't know, it was like he just ignored what it's like to be a woman, you know, what they go through.
Yeah, see, and that right there, that's exactly what Dr. Lee's talking about. It's not even about, like, abortion or policy, really. It's this, like she says, detachment from reality. And even scarier, she compares some of what he does, how he talks, to, like, abusers.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, think about it. Saying someone's feelings aren't real, making their problems seem small, always controlling how the story gets told so he has all the power. These are, like, textbook manipulation tactics, right? And they work. People shut down. They get controlled.
Okay, so this contagion, it's spreading maybe, and it's hitting us where we don't expect in our minds, right? But here's the thing, I just can't wrap my head around the evangelicals, the really religious folks. How can they support Trump with all his baggage, with him not even seeming that religious?
It's interesting, right? That's where Dr. Lee gets really deep. She says Trump, he appeals to this primal need, especially for some religious folks. It's about authority.
So it's less about what Trump believes and more the type of leader he is, like, I don't know, a king or something, telling everyone what to do.
Exactly. He makes the world simple, good guys, bad guys, no in between. And for people struggling with, you know, with life, with how complex it all is, that's really appealing. It's like you don't have to think, you just got to follow the leader.
That's what's scary, right? Giving up on thinking for yourself, because this guy, he's like the savior or something. And this reminds me, Dr. Lee also talks about family courts, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other...
It's connected, right?
Yeah.
She's saying we overlook red flags with Trump, just like people do in family courts, the system that's supposed to protect people.
And she's got a point. She says the system designed to protect often becomes the predator itself, and the damage is huge.
Huge? How? Give us the numbers.
Well, she says, and this is hard to hear, but 160 children every day die because of what happens in family courts.
160 kids.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, are we programmed to just ignore these warning signs, even when it's kids, the most vulnerable people, getting hurt?
It makes you think, is this a Trump thing, or are we all kind of messed up like this, you know, willing to be led, even if it's, I don't know, off a cliff?
That's the question, isn't it? And it gets even more and more intense when you look at Trump himself, because if what Dr. Lee says is true, well, things are getting worse.
You're talking about that Pennsylvania rally again?
Yeah, I mean, the man's almost 80. You can see it. But the things he's saying, it's like he's getting more extreme, not less.
Dr. Lee says that's because his mental state, it's declining, less impulse control leading to more extreme actions, a bad cycle. And the stuff he said about immigrants, like he called them, it was dehumanizing, said, our country is full. How can you even say that?
It all comes back to what we were talking about projection. His unhappiness, his own insecurities, he puts them on other people.
So he's unhappy. Got to make sure everyone else is too.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Lee says he can't handle seeing others happy, having love, connection, things he doesn't have. So he lashes out, tries to bring down anyone who has what he wants.
Wow. That's dark, but honestly, kind of smart, right? Like, if you can convince people it's us versus them, anyone who doesn't agree is the enemy. That's powerful.
It is powerful. And that's why it's so important to understand this whole Trump contagion thing. It's not just politics anymore. It's about seeing these manipulation tactics And protecting yourself, protecting your own mind from it all.
I mean, it's easy to go down that rabbit hole, right? This Trump contagion. It's kind of terrifying. But Dr. Lee, I don't think she'd want us to just freak out, right?
Oh, definitely not. She's big on knowledge, like
Yeah.
knowing your enemy, right? If you see how it works, how this contagion spreads, how Trump gets to people, it's like you can build up a defense.
Instead of getting angry or scared, you can be like, that's just a trick. I see what you're doing. But let's be real. How do you talk to someone who's like deep in it, who maybe even has the contagion themselves?
Yeah, it's tough. Dr. Lee compares it to like getting someone out of a cult, deprogramming them. Got to be patient, understanding, meet them where they're at.
No yelling at Thanksgiving dinner then.
Probably not the best strategy. But seriously, it starts with ourselves. The more we get it, this contagion, the better we can talk to people without judging, with empathy.
Knowledge is power, like they say.
Exactly. And that power, it can fight back against the fear, the us versus them stuff this contagion loves.
So we learn all we can. What else? How do we actually like fight this thing, protect ourselves, maybe even help others?
Don't just tell people they're wrong. Connect with them, Remind them of what you still agree on, the good stuff.
Show them there's a whole world outside the Trump bubble where facts still matter and people care about each other.
Yeah. Be the voice of reason, of kindness, because we need that right now.
Sounds tough.
It is, but we can do it. And even small things, saying something when you hear BS, choosing to be kind instead of angry, it can make a difference.
So it's not just surviving Trump, it's like becoming better because of it.
Exactly. And one place we need to get better, big time, is the media. Dr. Lee, she compares what's happening with the news to, get this, the Catholic Church.
Whoa, hold up. The Catholic Church. How so?
The church, they protected the abusers, kept the victims quiet for years, right? Dr. Lee says some media, they're doing the same with Trump. Intentionally or not, they're helping him, spreading the contagion.
His drama sells. Right. And Trump, he's all drama.
But it's dangerous. The more we see him, hear him, the more it's like, it's normal. And that messes with us.
It's not just punches, right? It's mental, emotional. But the hurt is real.
And just like with the church, there's going to be a reckoning. The question is, how bad will it be by then?
That's a heavy thought. Because if this contagion is as bad as Dr. Lee says, what does that mean for America? Can we even function, make good decisions, fix all the broken stuff?
Big, scary questions, right? If one guy can mess with our heads this much, what does that say about us? About, like, how easily we fall for this stuff?
Makes you dizzy thinking about it. But Dr. Lee, she's not giving up, is she?
No way. She's realistic, but she cares. She sees how bad it is, but she also believes we can come back from it. We're strong enough.
So how do we get that strength back? After Trump, after this contagion?
Face it head on. Talk about it, honestly. What did Trump do to us, to our minds, to America?
Sounds daunting, but the stakes are pretty high.
Our country might depend on it.
So where does this leave us? We've talked about this Trump contagion. We see the media, well, a lot of it anyway, just making things worse. And America, it feels, I don't know, kind of broken, right? What are we supposed to do with all this? It's a lot.
Yeah, it really is. Dr. Lee, she doesn't have like a magic answer, but she keeps saying it comes down to us, each of us, doing something, even if it seems impossible.
But what does doing something even look like with this? This isn't like a law to protest or something. It's in our heads.
It's about choices every day. Like speaking up when you see something wrong, even if it's small, calling out the lies, having those hard talks with people you care about. Don't let yourself get swept up in all the fear and anger.
Easier said than done. Right. It's like everywhere you turn, it's more bad news, more reasons to be mad. I get tired just thinking about it.
Tiring, absolutely. That's why Dr. Lee, she's big on self-care too. You can't fight if you're already worn out.
So what do you do to like keep yourself sane in all this?
Me. I got to tune out the news sometimes. Not forever, but got to make space to just think clearly again. Remember what matters,
Yeah, quiet your mind so you can actually hear yourself think, right?
Exactly. That's when you find your own wisdom again, your own hope. Then you can go back out there with a clear head.
So unplug to recharge, but then what's that going back out there look like so it actually makes a difference?
Maybe it's those tough talks with your Trump-loving uncle. Maybe it's supporting groups fighting for truth, for democracy. Maybe it's just being kinder to everyone, because Lord knows we need more of that.
So we learn about this Trump contagion, not just to be scared, but so we can, be the cure. In our own lives anyway.
Right. Like Dr. Lee says, even when it's darkest, there's always hope. But hope's not enough. Got to do something with it.
I like that. Hope you can use. So, to everyone listening, feeling stressed out about all this, you're not the only one. And more importantly, you can make things better. Somehow.
It starts with getting it,
Yeah.
understanding how this Trump contagion works. Then you can fight back little by little in your own life with your own people.
Knowledge, knowing yourself, and a little bit of kindness. Those are our weapons, right?
And they are weapons. Don't ever think they're not powerful. Might seem small, but like a tiny spark can start a fire, right? One that burns away all this mess.
And that's what we got to hold on to. If Trump contagion spreads through fear, through us being divided, then the opposite. That's got to be the answer. Hope, connection, knowing what's true, and then acting on it. Make good choices out there, everyone. And remember, you're not helpless.